Hello everyone. I hope you are staying fit and fine and safe indoors by following the government rules and regulations, children. It says that we should keep ourselves clean by sanitizing us and by maintaining social distance as well. So, today we are going to study a new chapter as part of our academic curriculum. The first chapter is of geography. The name of the first chapter is India, Size and Location. So, the name itself suggests that we are talking about our country, India. So, in this lesson, we are going to see about the size, that is the edges, the boundaries that are covered, and the location where exactly our country, India, is located in the continent of Asia. Asia as a continent has 55 countries, children. In that, where exactly our country is located, that is what we are going to study in this lesson. And till which extension is its boundaries, that is its size, that we are going to study in the coming slides. In the right hand side, you can see the map of India. So the introduction starts with India is one of the ancient civilizations in the world. Ancient is old. Civilization, the people when they started settling on the banks of the rivers. So India has achieved multifaceted socio-economic progress during the last 5 decades. So children, multifaceted means not only growing in one side, it is growing in every side, say trade, economy, import and export, etc. So it is growing rapidly during the last 5 decades. So 1 decade makes 10 years. The third point says it has moved forward, displaying remarkable progress in the field of agriculture, industry, technology, and overall economic development. The third point correlates the word of the second point, multifaceted. So, our country has remarkably grown in the field of agriculture, industry, technology, and overall economic development. Overall economic development comes under the trade procedures that takes on in the country. So, India has also contributed significantly to the making of world history. So, India has made its own history by creating a revolution, children. Revolution is changes. India has always grown through centuries. Let us see the location. Here you can very well see the world map, children. You can see this is Asia, this is the entire world map. You can see this is the ancient continent, and in this ancient continent 55 countries have been found, among which one of them is India. You can see the mainland, you can see the boundaries, right? See, this is the mainland. Okay, so the land mass that is covered. Clear? Now, what are we going to see is the first point is India is a vast country lying entirely in the northern hemisphere. So, we all know when we see a globe, children, the upper part denotes the northern hemisphere, the below part denotes the southern hemisphere, and the imaginary line that cuts the globe, that intervenes the globe, is the imaginary line known as the equator, and that is 0 degree. Equator starts from 0 degrees. Okay, so here we can see the above portion of the equator is the northern hemisphere, the below portion of the equator is the southern hemisphere, children. You can see India is coming in the upper portion, that is why it is entirely settled in the northern hemisphere in the Asian continent. So the mainland, you can see I told you this is the mainland, these are the boundaries, and inside we are having different states, right? So that are the mainland that is to be considered. So the mainland extend between the latitudes. So in the earlier standard, children, we have learned about latitudes, right? So latitudes are parallel of latitudes. Latitudes are imaginary lines that runs towards the, through the globe, right? So latitudes, the parallels of, you can see the parallels of latitudes. The imaginary line you can see, these are the parallels of latitude, children. Okay, so what they have told, the mainland extend between the latitudes 8 degree 4 minutes north. You can see over here very well, equator is 0 degree, children, right? And this portion has been left empty. They actually calculate the degree over there. So this is 0 degree. As the upper portion is north, they have written 50 degree north, 15 degree north. Then again 15 degrees they have left. They have written 30 degrees north. So if you calculate India, okay, this is 0 degree. So India is not falling over here. So India is falling somewhere over here. So the count would be 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, counting until 15 degree. So you can see India is falling somewhere over here, stating it is 8 degree 4 minutes north. Okay, and where it is ending, this is the starting point, where it is ending, and 37.6 degree. See, this is 30. If you calculate, see, they have left the 15 digits and this is 45 degree, right? So calculate 31 degree, 32 degree, 33 degree as wise, and somewhere here you reach until 37 degree 6 minutes north. Clear? So India is located 8 degree 4 minutes north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north in the latitudes. And if we see in the longitudes, children, so longitudes are meridians of longitudes. Okay, so this lines you can see, so these are the longitudes. So where is India starting? You can see over here. So the longitudes are 68. You can see over here. Latitudes are parallel, so we have seen over here. Longitudes you have to see from the upper portion. So you can see 60 degrees over here, children. 60 degrees, right? So the India, it starts, see over here it starts. So it has been starting, see 60, then 90 degrees they have written. So here if you see, it comes under 68. If you see over here, after 60, see, you can, if you measure 61, 62 like that. So see, here they have left a line, right? So there is 60, 75, 90, leaving 15 degrees, right? Same as the latitudes. So if you see over here something around 61, 62, 63, 64, something like that. So if you exactly see this part, you can see this part comes under 68.7 minutes east. Okay, east, and 97 degree 25 minutes east. So starting from here and ending till here, you can see exactly over here. See, this is 90. So see this line actually where it is going. Okay, here something around 97 degrees 25 minutes east. Okay, so we all know what is the latitudes and the longitudes. So the third point denotes the Tropic of Cancer. So the Tropic of Cancer divides the country into almost 2 equal parts. So this is the equator. In the above part, it comes the Tropic of Cancer, and down comes the Tropic of Capricorn. So the Tropic of Cancer, we all know the Tropic of Cancer is an imaginary line that divides exactly into 23 degree 30 minutes north. So I hope you have understood the location part, children. Let us go ahead with the next slide. See, you can see the map of India again. So you can see to the southeast lies the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. You can see over here. You see, this is the equator. That's Tropic of Cancer, what we were talking about. Okay, so you can see to the southeast. You can see this is sea. So see what I told you. This is North Pole, South Pole. Okay, then here comes the east and the west. So north, south, east and west. So this is the equator. So you can see the Andaman and Nicobar Islands lying over here in the Bay of Bengal. So it comes into the southeast portion. The second thing is to the southwest. This is the east portion, children. This is the east portion. So why it is known as actually southeast? This is northern hemisphere, children. This is southern hemisphere, right? So under the southern hemisphere, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands lies to the east. That is the reason why it is known as southeast. So very well remember that Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie to the southeast of India in the Bay of Bengal and to the southwest. Okay, so below the equator is south, so and this portion is west, right? So in this southwest portion we can see the Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. Clear, children? So let us move to the next slide. Starting with the size. So we have learned about the location, children, how our country is been located, where exactly in the ancient continent it has been located. I have shown you the latitudes and longitudes and the degrees that separates the latitudes and the longitudes. I have explained you very well on the world map. So moving next to the size. So you can see the Indian map over here. So this is the size. As I told you earlier, this is the size, the extensional boundaries. This is known as the size actually. So let us start. The land mass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer, children. That is 32.8 lakh kilometer. India's total area accounts for about 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. 2.4% from the entire world map, children. The entire world, if you see the entire world, in that 2.4% of the geographical area is what is the consistence of India. Concluding that India is the 7th largest country of the world. India has a land boundary of about 15,200 kilometer. Land boundary is this, children, okay? This, they are talking about the land boundary, right? You can see this portion, the whole India, it is about 15,200 kilometer. The total length of the coastline of the mainland. Coastline is this is the coastline. You can see the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea are part of India. So when they are added into the mainland, including the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands, as I told you, Andaman and Nicobar falls under Arabian Sea, and the Lakshadweep Islands fall under Bay of Bengal. So including that area, the total length of the coastline of the mainland, including Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep, is 7,516.6 kilometer. So this is only the land boundary, and this is the coastline boundary, children. That is the coastline. You can see that does not come along the land boundary. So let us move to the next slide. You can see the map of India. Okay, see, India is bounded by the Youngfold Mountains in the northwest, north and the northeast. Youngfold Mountains are the Himalayas, children. So the mountains, that is the Himalayas, that has been bounded by in the areas of northwest, north and northeast. So south of about 22° north latitude, north, you can see the upper portion is north, right? So north latitude, it begins to taper is extension, and extends towards the Indian Ocean, dividing into the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal to the east. Then if you look at this figure, children, if you look at this figure and note that the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the mainland is about 30 degrees. Now this point is very important, children. So you have to pay attention. How do you get 30 degrees? As I told you, this is the northern hemisphere, this is the southern hemisphere. Okay, so you can see the Bay of Bengal is east and the Arabian Sea is in the west. Okay, so you can see this particular line running. Okay, this is the standard meridian. What do you understand by this standard meridian? That India follows one standard time throughout its whole country. Now if you see this figure, the latitudinal and longitudinal, okay, latitudinal, this is the latitudinal line, and the longitudinal line, children. Okay, so if you see, the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the mainland is about 30 degree. Is about 30 degree. It is not exactly 30 degree. It is about 30 degree. What they are telling, see, these are the latitudes, right? So here in the small box, children, they have given 97 degree and 25 minutes. Okay, the latitudes, and here 68 degree and 7 minutes. Children, when you minus 97.25 by 68.7, you will get approximately somewhere around 28.55. that is something nearing to 30 degree, because they have already mentioned that the mainland is about 30 degrees, not exactly 30 degrees. So you are getting something around 28.55. Same way, if in the longitudinal base also, if you minus 37 degree 6 minutes by 8 degree 4 minutes, you will get somewhere around 27 point something you will get. That is again close to 30 degrees. So you can see, right? So they have measured this extent, children. They have measured this extent, that is 2,933 kilometer, right? So this is the latitude, and they have measured this also. See, this is 3,214 kilometers. So somewhere we can see the longitudinal line is also 30 degrees. Okay, it's about 30 degrees, and the latitudinal line is also about 30 degrees. So why there is a change in the measurement? Then too, you can see the change in the measurement. You can see the latitude is the latitudinal calculation, that is 2,933 kilometer, is less than the longitudinal calculation of 3214 kilometer. But if you see the calculation, if as I told you, if you minus this from this and if you minus this from this, somewhere you are getting around 30 degree. So this is the point being explained, that the latitudinal and the longitudinal extent of the mainland is about 30 degrees. Okay, despite the fact the east west extent appears to be smaller. Okay, that is the east west extent. Okay, this number extends to be smaller than the north south extent. So this number is less than this number, but when you calculate, you are getting somewhere around 30 degrees. So this is the difference they have explained, children. Okay, so this has been done. This I have told you, this is the standard meridian. We all know about Greenwich time, right? So Greenwich time is followed according to the world, and every country has its own standard meridian time, so that no confusions have been created. So the fourth point goes to, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. Hence, time lag of 2 hours means, children, we all know the sun rises earlier in Arunachal Pradesh, and the sun rising time is different in every countries and states. So from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. Hence, time along the standard meridian of India, that is 82 degree 30 minutes east, passing through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. You can see the standard meridian time passing, right? You can see this. 82 degree. You can see the standard meridian passing. You can see this 82 degrees 30 minutes. Yes. Passing through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh is taken as the standard time for the whole country. The latitudinal extent influences the duration of the day and night as one moves from south to north. The one is the tilting of the earth, children. The sun does not change its position. It's the earth that changes its position. That is how we get a day and night. Let us go to the next slide. It is about the India and the world. So earlier we studied about the location, children, right? Then we studied about the size also. So in the location part, I made you understand how the latitudes and the longitudinal degrees are being comprised, so that you get somewhere about 30 degrees, right? So we have learned about the different numbering system, different calculations that come under the longitudinal part also and the latitudinal part also. The measurement that we have read in the last slide, the latitudinal one has different square kilometer range, and the longitudinal one has different square kilometer range. The only one thing that connects is the 30 degree thing, that is approximately, that is not the correct calculation, but something that comes into approx. Okay, and we studied about the standard meridian time as well. So moving to the next slide, that is India and the world. So you can see in the map, you can see India, right? And this is the rest of the world. You can see over here, this is Egypt, this is Yemen, Ethiopia, Africa, and in the upper portion you can see Europe. So let us see. The Indian landmass has a central location between the East and the West Asia. India is a southward extension of the ancient continent. Okay, so you can see India, what they are telling, India is the southward extension of the ancient continent. So you can see India, right? So even though it is lying in the northern hemisphere, children, it comes under the southward extension. So this is east, this is west, right? So this is north, this is south, right? So in Asia, it comes under the southward extension of the ancient continent. The Trans-Indian routes, the Trans-Indian routes are the children, the routes that are actually carried out for trade purpose, for the import and export things. Okay, so that connects to Europe in the west, and the countries of East Asia provide a strategic location to India. So East Asia, you can see over here, Bay of Bengal. Okay, there are the sea routes that connects very well to the Indian Ocean also, and we have the Arabian Sea that connects to many countries, that connects India to many countries in the matter of trade. So we can see the Deccan Peninsula. Deccan Peninsula comes in somewhere in Maharashtra. So the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean, thus helping India to establish close contact with West Asia. Africa, I told you, right? This is Africa. So because of the sea routes, no, the trade is being easily carried out from Europe, right? So you can see the sea routes over here. So you can see this, no? You can see this. So these are the, so you can see the sea routes, you can see the air routes, the red one the air routes, the blue one are the sea routes that go to even Europe and Africa. You can see that very well. Thus helping India to establish close contact with West Asia, Africa, okay? See Africa, Europe, and the western coast with the southeast and East Asia from the eastern coast. No other country has coastline on the Indian Ocean as India has, and indeed it is India's eminent position in Indian Ocean which justifies the naming of an ocean after it. So we all know this is Indian Ocean, just because there is vast connections of transportation for import and export through these seas, and the seas, it consists in the Indian Ocean. So India is only country that has ocean of its, naming the ocean of its own country, that is India. The ocean's name has been given Indian Ocean just because it falls under India, and through that we can do trade very, very quickly and in the much efficient manner. Let us go to the next slide, children. I hope you people are understanding very well. So we have learned about the sea routes also. So this is general information that India contacts with the world have continued through the ages, but our relationship through land routes are much older than the maritime contacts. So first land routes were established in India, after sea routes were established. Then the sea routes were established. The various passes across the mountains in the north have provided passages to the ancient travelers, while the oceans restricted such interaction for a long time. So people earlier traveled through the passages, through the mountains. They preferred the land route, children. We all know even the Silk Route, when the Chinese traders came through, they used the mountain passages. Then afterwards they found out the sea routes. These routes have contributed in the exchange of ideas and commodities since ancient times. The ideas of the Upanishads and Ramayana, the stories of Panchatantra, the Indian numerals, and the decimal system thus could reach many parts of the world. So in our earlier standards, we have read many of the Chinese travelers. They used to come to India. like Yuan Chang, he stayed in the Nalanda University. He studied everything about the Nalanda University. He went back, right? So these people came through the sea routes, children. So through that, our stories were exchanged in the out countries. So did the Ramayana, the stories of Panchatantra, the Indian numerals and the decimal systems. Thus could reach many parts of the world. Along with that, the spices, muslin and other merchandise were taken from India to different countries, that is through land routes and the sea routes afterwards. On the other hand, the influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural styles of domes and and minarets from West Asia can be seen in different parts of our country. So we were influenced even seeing the Greek sculptures as well, and we imitated some of them, like building the domes and minarets that is seen in the West Asia. Our next slide, children, that is India's neighbors. You can see the map of India. India's neighbors, like India occupies an important strategic position in South Asia. India has 28 states and 7 union territories. We all know that. India shares its land boundaries. These are the land boundaries. These are the boundaries, right? You can see these are the boundaries, and this boundaries, it is shared by Pakistan, right? You can see Afghanistan. You can see Tibet, China, that comes under China. You can see Nepal. Okay, likewise Bhutan in the north, Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. Our southern neighbors across the sea consist of the two island countries, that is namely Sri Lanka. You can see Sri Lanka over here, and Maldives. So these are our two island countries where our land boundary has been shared. You can see very well. We all know that the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean, these are part of India. So of course the land boundaries are shared by these two islands as well. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Park Strait. You can see a small line connecting, right? This is the Park Strait, children. So this is how India's boundary has been connected. And the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives Islands are situated to the south and Lakshadweep Islands. So students, I hope you all have understood the chapter in a very well manner, starting with ancient India, then going to our size of a country. We studied the locations, right? We studied the part, the exact boundaries where India has been located in the Asian continent. I have made you read about the latitudes and the longitudinal extents by calculating the degrees. Then we studied about the location. After size, we studied about the location, like how the latitudinal and the longitudinal this measurements are different, but what connects them is the 30 degrees point. Then we studied about the standard meridian time as well, that each country has its own standard meridian time. Then we studied about the trade routes, the sea routes that makes India a very major hub of trade. We saw the connectivity to Europe, to this one, Asia, southwest of Asia, and we saw this one also to Uganda, to Africa, right? We saw each and everything. Then we even studied that the earlier people used to use the mountains, that is the land route. Then the sea routes were discovered. Then we studied about the neighboring countries which shares India's boundaries. Yes, and through that we have come to the end of the chapter. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, you have understood each and everything, and if you have anything to ask, you can ask me anytime. Okay, children, thank you very much and have a nice day. Thank you.